if you just go in, you're like, I like you, I like you, I like you, I hope you like me too. Eventually, like, okay, fine, fuck it, I'll fuck this guy because I'm, bored, or because, I haven't had it in a while, or because he's my best option for the night, right? You don't want that. You want it to be a situation where it goes like, I fucking have to have this guy, right? So when you are potentially giving an emotional spike or giving a girl shit or giving a girl a hard time, don't think of it like you're being mean to her. Think of it like you are giving her an experience. You're giving her a complete seduction experience, not a like half-assed cheap seduction experience. You in your mind, it's like you want to go from meeting them to sex to perfect relationship without them ever having a negative emotion at any point, right? And that's not, number one, it would be very, very hard to do. But number two, it's not even ideal, okay? It would actually suck, okay? It would not be good game if that were to happen. It's like if you're watching a movie. Do you want a movie where there's no tension and no bad guy and nothing happens? It's a boring fucking movie. No one wants to watch that movie, right? And there's no resolution at the end, and there's no like, there's no big climax at the end of that because there's nothing to climax from, okay? Same thing with game. If there is no tension and no negative spikes, the game kind of sucks. It's very flat, it's very boring, it's very dull. Number one, I want to balance the positive and negative spikes, right? Because I need to escalate. Normally when I'm escalating, that shows interest, right? Because being physical with you, moving forward, moving things towards sex shows interest. If I show too much interest, I'm obvious, I'm low value, I give my power away. Having the negative spikes allows me to escalate without giving my power away. So that's part of it, is that you need the negative spikes to balance out the inherent positive that's created by escalating. The second thing that negative spikes do, though, is it keeps the girl on her toes. It makes her not know she can have you, right? And that tension is really, really good because people value what they worked for. If something's given to you easily, you either despise it, distrust it, devalue it. If you have to work for something, then you value it. Right? In fact, if someone gave you something really, really nice, like for free with no effort, you'd probably be like, what's the catch? I don't trust this. It must not be as good as I thought it was. Exactly. So it's establishing that little bit of selectivity around it, or that little bit of she had to earn it. She has to invest for it, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Right? And then finally, just on a almost a snap emotional level, people care a lot about social validation. We grew up in small tribes where having the approval of our peers was literally a matter of life and death. So someone disapproving of you has an immediate knee-jerk reaction of, oh, I want to make them approve of me again. The negatives are necessary. Without the negatives, the positives are not very meaningful, right? So when you are potentially giving an emotional spike or giving a girl shit or giving a girl a hard time, don't think of it like you're being mean to her. Think of it like you are giving her an experience. You're giving her a complete seduction experience, not a like half-assed cheap seduction experience. Does that make sense? Right, because you guys both got to watch me do some sets close up, right? You actually literally both got to see me talk to a girl who ended up like basically pulling. I don't know if you guys know that the other girl like freaking called me up at 4 a.m. The other freaking the girl that we talked to for a while at the bar, she like called me up to hang out at like 4 a.m. and shit like that too. So you guys both got to see a girl that was like very into me and very willing to go home with me, and how I talk to her and how I escalate with her and that kind of stuff. Okay, you both got to see that. In both those cases, hopefully you noticed, when I give the girl a negative spike, when I give the girl shit, when I'm mean to the girl, not mean, you know what I mean, not being mean, but giving a girl a negative spike, the look on their face of like how that's when they get like the most turned on, and that's when they react and start touching me and all that kind of stuff, right? That's when you see those big reactions. It's not when I give them a compliment, it's when I give them shit. It's when I give them a hard time, it's when I tease them, right? They like that. It turns them on. It is arousing for them, okay? So I want you to realize that, because you have this idea of, I don't want to be mean, I don't want to do negative or whatever, because you're trying to be too nice, no negative emotions. Negative emotions are necessary. People go on roller coasters and have a negative emotion of feeling like they're about to die because it's exciting for them. Okay, negative emotions are part of the human experience. They make it relevant, they make it fun. People want that shit. You need to get that in your head, because yeah, it's just too fucking boring if not. And you're going to be getting lucky or hoping to get lucky. As in, if you just go in, you're like, I like you, I like you, I like you, I hope you like me too. Eventually, like, okay, fine, fuck it, I'll fuck this guy because I'm, bored, or because, I haven't had it in a while, or because he's my best option for the night, right? You don't want that. You want it to be a situation where it goes like, I fucking have to have this guy. Like, I will pursue this guy, I will go out of my way for this guy, I will get obsessed by this guy. That's what you want to be. You want to be the guy she can get obsessed over. and she gets obsessed over like the negative spikes. Have you ever had it where you really like a girl and you text her and she doesn't text you back and you start obsessing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a negative. Her not texting back is a negative.
Sure.
The negative is what caused you to start obsessing. Okay, it's the same thing for girls. Okay, so you need to understand what role the negative spikes play, and understand that when you give a negative spike, you're not being an asshole. You're not being mean. You're just giving a full experience. All right, and you're being playful. Like flirting and teasing is part of a relationship. I'm sure when you've had girlfriends in the past, you flirt and tease with your girlfriends, right? So it's just that same thing. Okay, but you need to absolutely have more of that. And then, ironic, I'm saying this as someone in sales, you need to be a closer. Right? And number one, that means you need to ask for the close at the end, whether that is, let's go grab a drink, let's go to the next place, let's get a number, whatever. But even beyond the asking for the close at the end, you need to structure the interaction in such a way that it's going to make sense when you ask for the close. So you should be planning the eventual close from the first minute. Right? You're having an interaction that is man to woman, and therefore it makes sense to close. You're having an interaction where at first you didn't seem to, you're giving her some shit, but then she says things and you respect them and you're won over by them, so then it makes sense that she earned the phone number or earned the instant date when you take her on the instant date or take her home or whatever.